Welcome back to men's action from Puckett Fieldhouse, Fayette, Missouri. A little over 2 minutes away from the start of this ball game between the Eagles and the Vikings from Grandview. Central Methodist comes in 6-13 overall, 5-8 in the Heart. Grandview comes in 5-13 and 3-10 in the Heart. So a couple of teams in a little bit rebuild mode, scramble mode, trying to get caught up. Eagles have played 4 or 5 really good ball games lately, losing to number 3 in the nation, William Penn, here by 6, and that was the biggest lead of what that William Penn had in the ball game was 6. And then victories and close defeats. We'll get starting lineups for you as we come along here in just a minute. Statistically, on the season, Central Methodist averages almost 75 a ball game, gives up 78.5. For Grandview, they score 71 and give up 81 per ball game. Tuesday night, Mid-American Nazarene comes to town. Women's game, men's game. Women's game will be of high importance as Central Methodist currently leads the Heart with 2 losses. Mid-America has 3 losses. They're the closest team along with William Penn that the Eagles have split with during the year. Grandview came in today, the women's game, with 3 losses. Were defeated by the Eagles by the score of 100-60. So we're going to have the prayer and the national anthem here in a second. We'll turn up our courtside microphone here in a second. And then we'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment as they're doing the public service announcement for the Heart. And here comes the prayer and the national anthem.
Almighty God, you have created us to strive for our best. Grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans the strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm. Help us to honor you today in all we do on and off the court, and make us witnesses to your glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
There is your national anthem. Here are your starting lineups for both sides. 5-13, 3-10 in the Heart. A 6'2" junior from Walnut Grove, Missouri, Dallas Minders, averaging 2.8. A 6-foot junior from Clive, Iowa, number 4, Drew Johnson, averaging 13.6. 23, a 6'5" junior guard from Yorkville, Illinois, Colton Kolowski, averaging 9.9. Number 30, Landon Rash, a 6-foot senior guard from Algona, Iowa, averaging 3.8. And number 33, Ludwig Sald, a 6'7" senior from Saro, Sweden, for the Eagles. It's a 6'4" junior sophomore guard from Kansas City, Missouri, number 1, Isaiah Burton. Number 5, a 6'1" senior guard from Kansas City, Missouri, James Bird II. A 6'2" senior guard from Normal, Illinois, number 10, Josh Robinson. A 6'6" senior forward from Peru, Illinois, number 24, Christian Soderholm. And a 6'11" junior from Magaliesburg, South Africa, number 34, Rain Hartman. There are your starting lineups, so a little bit of a height advantage to the Eagles as we get ready to go from Puckett Fieldhouse with second game of this conference doubleheader Heart of America action. And it is Alumni Men's Weekend for basketball. There's several of the former basketball players at Central here in the crowd. As I was standing for the national anthem, I looked around, and they're pretty easy to see because they're all pretty tall. So they're here. They're going to have a get-together downtown after this is over and reminisce about how good they all used to be. I'm an alumnus here, and I do that all the time, reminisce about how good I used to be. I'm corrected on most occasions by some of my teammates, but so be it. It'll be Sald and Hartman, and the ball is controlled by Soderholm for the Eagles. This is Robinson with the basketball. That's Hartman. Gets it to Burton. Pick and roll to the hoop. Lays it up. Cannot get it to go. And Sald with a rebound. Kolowski. This is Johnson. Rash. Minders from here in Missouri. Tries to take it to the hoop. Cut off there. Back out. 3 by Rash on the way. No good. And Soderholm with a rebound. Soderholm. Burton looks for the lob. Tries to get there. He's held up as he goes through. Is Soderholm as they try to do a backdoor lob. And that foul goes on Rash, 6-foot senior, averaging 3.8. Hartman gets the ball back, tries to get it back inside, does get it back, lays it up and in. Rain Hartman. First 2 points of the ball game goes Central Methodist way, and the Eagles have a 2-0 lead as we are a minute into this ball game. This is Minders. Kolowski. Johnson in the corner. Still has it, going to take it to the hoop. Little runner put up and in. Short arm runner, got it up in a hurry and gets it in to go. Drew Johnson, 13.6, only starter in double figures for the Vikings. Bird the second. That's Robinson trying to go baseline. To the corner, Burton with a 3. Hits it. Isaiah Burton with a 3, and it's 5-2 in favor of the Eagles. Johnson with it. Reverse. Minders. Rash. This is Kolowski. Taking his way to the hoop. Can't get it to go, and there's Hartman with his first rebound of the ball game. Bird. Stutter steps through the lane. Can't get anywhere. Trying to get the ball to Hartman inside. It's about 2 feet further out than he likes to be. Turns. Puts up a little right-handed shot. Looks for a foul. Doesn't get it. And the ball comes out, and this is Kolowski with the ball. Johnson. Rash. Kolowski. Back to Rash in the corner against Bird the second. All the way across. Fadeaway jumper goes. 5-4 Eagles. Robinson, Bird to second. Burton. Everybody touched the ball in about a 3-second span there. There's Bird with a jumper on the way that comes up short. And Sald with a rebound. Rash. Sald with a three on the way. Back of the rim, no good. And Bird with a rebound. James Bird, the second, brings it up. Burton back to Bird. Gets a pick. Nice pass. And a layup that just won't go off the heel, off the rim by Hartman as he had it and just couldn't get it to fall. Rash again. Now he's got Hartman on him. He's going to back out, think about a three, gets it inside to Sald, who's got a big height advantage. Puts it in, puts it up, no good. And out comes Burton. As Grandview had nobody under the basket to rebound, there were 5 white jerseys there for that board. Burton. Bird, going to try and take it down the lane, spin to the inside, underneath, up and in. James Bird the second with his first points. 7-4 in favor of the Eagles. Minder. Kalowski with Burton on him. Burton's about the best defensive player that they have. And that's number 4, Drew Johnson, with a three-pointer. He averages 13.6. He's got 5 in the game so far, and we're tied at 7. Robinson underneath. There's the little right-hand jump hook, but it won't go for Hartman. He's had a couple of inside shots with nothing to show for it from those. Rash to the hoop, lays it up too hard. Bird with a rebound. It's a track meet, and Bird beats everybody down the floor as he ran right by Kalowski and lays it up and in, and the Eagles have a 2-point advantage. Minder's in the corner with Soderholm on him. There's a fadeaway by Rash, and it's good. Or by Johnson, rather. 9-9. Just over 5 minutes into the ball game. High scoring so far. Hartman. They're back to him, and he lays this one up, and it goes in. They love to run that little pick and roll for Rain Hartman. He's got 4 in the game, and the Eagles have a 2-point advantage. This is Kalowski. His ball is tipped away from him, and Bird has it. He's done against 1-on-2. Bumps, can't get it to go. Tipped around, and ends up in Minder's hand, who gets it ahead to Kalowski, who's going to take it to the hoop, lay it up over Hartman and in. And a timeout by Coach Sherman. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll send it to a quick break and let our advertisers get their words in. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagles Sports Network.
0% for 72 months, plus generous cash savings on our most popular trucks and SUVs now at WK. Enjoy 0% for 72 months, plus cash back on Silverado and Sierra trucks, most Buick SUV models, and the Acadia Terrain and the all-new 2020 Equinox. Winter is here, and there's no better time to get behind the wheel of a powerful new four-wheel drive than now at WK in Sedalia, WK Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Boonville, and at WKFamily.com.
Back 14:01 to go. First half. Tie score at 11. Seth Stegeman into the ball game. Noah Patrick into the ball game. Kyle McDermott into the ball game. Soderholm and Robinson, the other two on the floor right now for the Eagles. This is Stegeman. Patrick. McDermott into the corner to Stegeman. Back to Robinson. And around it goes as they move the defense. 10 on the shot clock. Robinson decides to take it to the hoop. Scoop shot right-handed. Crawls in. Josh Robinson, his first two of the ball game, and the Eagles have a 2-point advantage. That's Rash giving the ball off to Johnson, who's been scoring a lot. Can't get that one to go. Down the lane. Putting it up and in is number 15, Josh Streeter, into the ball game. Also into the game, Kyle Haynes and Ryan Miller for Grandview. This is Robinson, pulls up for a three, comes up short. Soderholm with a rebound. Fends off the defender inside, puts it up and in. Christian Soderholm's first basket of the ball game. 15-13, back and forth we go. This is Rash, inside it goes, skip through, and that's Streeter, who just scored the last time down and scores again. So Streeter into the ball game, 4 points for him. Patrick McDermott. He's left-handed, wants to spin, does. Banks it up and in. Kyle McDermott, his first points of the ball game. He averages almost 12 a game. Coach Sherman barking about playing some defense on this end. Streeter against Stegeman, almost beats him again. Over into the corner, Miller. Rash, Johnson, three on the way, no good, and Patrick with a rebound. Robinson brings it up the floor. Backs it out, slows it up. Soderholm with a pick, and we've got a foul called.
Foul number 24, Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller called for the foul, his first personal foul. Second personal foul, or second team foul. So it'll be out of bounds. McDermott coming to inbound it. Soderholm with a pick, looks for the roll, not available. And there's a foul underneath as Kyle Haynes gives Christian Soderholm a little push in the back as he goes to get the ball, and the foul will go on him. His first personal foul, team foul number 3. Soderholm, Stegeman, Robinson, McDermott wide open for a three, halfway down, rattles around, won't go. Soderholm had a shot at it, so did Stegeman, but it comes out to Johnson. Streeter, long three on the way off the glass, no good. McDermott was ahead of the pile, but there wasn't any way for Robinson to get him the ball. Gets to Stegeman. Stegeman's going to be called for an offensive foul going down the floor. Kolowski missed the three, long rebound. Burton in, Stegeman out, Bird back in, Patrick out, and Jake Branham makes his first appearance, and Robinson goes for a break. So 3 new in. McDermott and Soderholm stay on the floor. This is Streeter against McDermott, spins, wheels, deals, comes up short, and Branham with a rebound to James Bird II. McDermott, Bird, Burton, Branham, lots of B's on the floor. McDermott, Bird, bounce pass to Soderholm for the dunk. Nice pass there, nice finish. 19-15 in favor of the Eagles. Ball out of bounds, and they say it goes off of Ryan Miller's leg, and it'll be Central basketball. And we have a timeout on the floor with 10:39 to go. 19-15 is the score. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. A couple new bodies on the floor for Grandview. We'll catch those up for you as they come back out. I think 54, Nana Kodum Ayensu into the ball game. He is a 6'6" junior from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Head coaches, Dennis Schaefer in his 22nd year at Grandview. His assistant coaches, Mason Denham, Jared Kuberski, and Juan Hadnot. For Central Methodist, coached by Jeff Sherman in his 35th season. Matt Sherman, Jay Jones, Carl Martin, assistants. It is Burton, Branham, Bird, Soderholm, and McDermott on the floor. And we see a zone defense now from Grandview, as it's Kolowski and Miller. McDermott puts up a jumper from inside and gets it to go. Looks and wants a foul, can't get it. Minders also on the court. Streeter and Kodum Ayensu. And that's Ayensu with the ball right there. Minders around the screen. Now there's a mismatch inside. Now they train back. Soderholm fixes that by kicking the ball out of bounds. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 10:03 to go, and everybody can switch back to who they had originally. As Kodum Ayensu is a 6'6" player. And he's got the ball right there against Soderholm. Bang, backs in, backs it up, no good. Soderholm held his ground, got the rebound, and Branham with the basketball. He motions Bird out of that side. Bird comes around to the other side, comes up through the middle. McDermott, Soderholm, Burton, Bird, Soderholm, left alone, 3 on the way, comes up short. Branham tries to get to it, but he's cut off by Kodum Ayensu. Down the floor in a hurry, that's Kolowski. And there's going to be a foul outside. It's Colton Kolowski, 6'5" junior from Yorkville, Illinois. And foul goes on Isaiah Burton. That's the first foul, and we're going to take a quick break on another timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 21-15 Eagles here in the first.
You make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new digital you at Central Methodist University. You make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new digital you at Central Methodist University.
Back from the timeout. 21-15 Eagles over the Vikings of Grandview. 9:26 to go here in half number 1. Women's game went Central Methodist way. Battle of ranked teams. Central Methodist 8, Grandview 20, ranked 21. Game went Central Methodist in a big way. 100-60 was the final score. Looked like all the same players on the court as when we had the timeout called, and I guess that's a media timeout of some sort. So it will be Minders underneath the basket to inbound the ball. And that's Johnson who's got some points. He's got 7 of their 15 points. Miller with the basketball. This is Drew Johnson. Inside it goes. Loses the handle on it. Loses the handle on it again. Double dribbles. And finally the official under the basket calls it as he dribbled, lost the handle on it. Nobody touched it. He regained it and started to dribble again. And that's a double dribble and a turnover for Grandview. Jake Branham to bring it up the court with Burton, McDermott, Bird, and Hartman. Branham goes left, McDermott. He's going to run underneath the basket on a series of cuts. He's in the corner all by himself, and he is a three-point shooter. Branham gets a 3 straight away, can't get it to go. Tipped around, and Kolowski with the rebound. Minders, Johnson in the corner left alone. Rims out no good. Bird with a rebound. He hurries it up the court, and it's 3-on-2. Branham with it. Takes it to McDermott. He goes underneath the basket. Can't get it to go. Fights for his own rebound. It's out of bounds, and it will go to Grandview. Skip back in over a cheerleader's head. Off of a cheerleader's head. Eli Davey comes into the ball game, and Ryan Miller checks out for Grandview. Soderholm checks back into the ball game. Burton checks out, so Hartman and Soderholm on the floor at the same time. Johnson rises for a 3, can't get it to go, and Branham with another rebound. Bird stops for a 3. It's in the air, and it's good. James Bird, the second. He's got 7, and another timeout as Coach Schaefer is not at all happy with somebody on the floor for not finding that shooter and getting on him. So we'll just keep it here because I suspect this is the 30-second chew-out timeout. As Coach Schaefer going to have a few words, just as in the women's game right before us. Player from Grandview was 35, was left all alone, shot a 3 and made it. Coach Davis called the timeout and asked his girls who's guarding 35? And the answer was nobody was guarding 35, which he knew the answer to that already. So somebody had to start guarding 35. So here somebody needs to pay attention to James Bird II. He's got 7 in this game, and he had 26 in the ball game the other night here as he carried the Eagles as they lost a close ball game. But he had 26 points in that ball game. He's got 7 in this one so far as we approach the 8-minute mark to go. That's Minders with the basketball. Kolowski in the corner. Inside it goes again. Turning with nowhere to go. Puts it up left-handed is Kodum Ayensu. No good. And Branham's got it. McDermott. Soderholm. Zone defense again. Davey on top of it. Branham. And there comes Soderholm flash in the middle. And Bird trying to go somewhere, and we'll have a foul called out away from the basket. That's only team foul number 4 of this half against Grandview. Goes on Kolowski, his first. There's Branham to get the inbound. Going to get a pick from Hartman. Take it to the hoop. Puts it up. Can't get it to go, but Hartman had the rebound. And he goes off of his hands out of bounds. The official was ready to call it Central basketball, but it went clearly off of Hartman's hand. Hartman with 4 points in the ball game. And this is Davey with the basketball. Minder. Inside it goes. That's Soud with a shot. Can't get it to go. Here comes Burton. Back to a man defense now out of that zone. Johnson follows Branham around with a basketball. There's McDermott, top of the key with a 3 on the way. Can't get it to go. Tipped around. Sauld on the floor. Gets it over to Kolowski, who gets it ahead to Davey. Grandview coach telling his players to move the basketball. There's Johnson straight away. Can't get it to go. Tipped, and it's going to go off Soderholm. Right in front of the Central bench. Josh Robinson going to check back in. Kyle McDermott checks out. Davey with it. Kolowski. Minders posting up. Big man outside. Takes it down the lane. Kicks it back out. Johnson with a 3. That rattles around no good. And Soderholm, or Hartman rather, with a rebound. 34, not 24. Burton. Branham in the corner. Turns down a 3. This is Robinson back at the top of the key. Robinson, Bird, Hartman, Soderholm, and Branham into the ball game. This is Soderholm. Lowers his head, lowers his shoulder, puts up a shot, and he's bailed out by a foul, I believe, that will go on 3. Dallas Minders, a 6'2 junior from Walnut Grove, Missouri.
Foul on number 3, Dallas Minders, his first, checking into the game.
His first personal foul, team foul number 5. They say no shooting foul as Soderholm had his back to the basket and just kind of threw it up over his head and hit it off the backboard, but the official not buying that that was a legitimate shot. It's Robinson to bring the ball inbounds. Soderholm in the corner. Bird to second. Going to drive to the hoop, lay it up and in. James Bird to second with 9 now. Lead out to 9 as the biggest lead of the ball game for the Eagles. 26-15. It's an 11-point lead. Streeter to the hoop. He's got a basket or 2. Now he's held up. Bird with a steal. Going to take it to the hoop, 1-on-2. Steps through, gets it to go. James Bird the second, got 11, and it's a 13-point advantage for the running Eagles. And I think I saw Coach Sherman's shirt that they're having today for their alumni thing has been balling since 1906 at Central. Kolowski going to get a pick from Sauld. Inside it goes to Saul. Back out to the corner. Streeter with a 3 and good. Josh Streeter, junior from Rockford, Illinois. He's got 7 points off the bench. And it's a 10-point advantage for the Eagles. Vikings ready to check into the ball game at the next dead ball. Soderholm, Branham, Bird. Bird with Johnson on him now, wants to go baseline, kicks it to the corner. Branham going to go baseline, finds Soderholm down the lane, tries to put a shot up, can't get it to go, and I think the way Kalowski is talking inside, it's on him, and it is.
Viking foul on number 23, Colton Kalowski, his
second personal foul. Rash checks back into the ball game, as does Miller, or they will after the first free throw by Soderholm. 4 points in the game for him. First trip to the free throw line. For the Eagles altogether, that's Soderholm. Turns around and ghost fives everybody behind him as the other three players, there's one player, Hartman, lined up on the lane. Everybody else is back on the other end of the court around the top of the key. Soderholm with 5, looking to make it 6. Does. And it's a 12-point advantage. 4:46 to go. First half. Sald. Streeter, who's provided some instant offense. This is Johnson, who had a couple of buckets early on. Miller, Streeter. Back to Miller underneath. Going to have to clear it out and come around. 8 on the shot clock. Streeter not afraid. Miller going to fire a long 3. Rims around no good. And Bird with a rebound. James Bird the second with the ball. Soderholm steps back. Doesn't take it. Robinson looks inside for Hartman. He's too far away from the basket. So back out with 15 on the shot clock. Coach Sherman says do this. And that's what they do, and Bird pulls up for a 3, barely gets any rim at all, and Miller out with a rebound. Quickly down the floor, Sald. Hartman went flying by, thought about blocking it, but knew it was going to be goaltending, so he pulled back away from it. And it's 30-20, and that's the first points of the ball game for Sald. Ludwig Sald. Branham. Josh Robinson, there's the pick. Throw behind it to Bird. He launches a 3 and hits it. James Bird the second. He's got 14 in the game. And it's a 13-point advantage. Rash with a 3 answers right back. Rash with 5. Coach Sherman doesn't like that. That was too easy. Robinson looks around. Standing on the Eagle symbol at midcourt. He's on the left wing with it now. Branham around the pick. Bird trying to get it to Soderholm inside. Does. Jumper up from the baseline and good over Streeter. Soderholm with 8. Burton gets ready to check back in at the next dead ball. Streeter with it. Ball fakes Soderholm. Can't get it to go anywhere. Step through. Sald. Miller. Miller now with Hartman on him. And he goes to the basket. He's fouled as he goes up to shoot. He'll go to the line and shoot a pair with 2:19 to go. And I think Hartman's going to pick up that foul. First personal foul, team foul number 3, so nobody in foul trouble for the Eagles right now. Next foul against Grandview will put Central in the bonus for the rest of the half. 2:19 to go here in this half. Miller's first free throw is good.
In the game for the Eagles, number 1, Isaiah Burton. And in the game for the Vikings, number 42, Kyle Haynes.
That's Grandview's first free throw of the ball game. Central has 2, and this will be the second one for Grandview. Both of them good. 10-point advantage. And Josh Robinson to walk it up across half court. There's Hartman. Hands it back to Robinson. He pulls up for a jump shot. Can't get it to go. And Miller with a rebound, and he's got Burton all over him all the way down the floor. Underneath it goes. Ends up being a miss, as that was Rash that put it up. He hit the underneath part of the rim with lots of bigs around him. And Branham's getting ready to check back in. And Robinson's going to check out. Rash to inbound the ball. Back out to Streeter. 30 feet from the hoop. Miller. Rash back to Miller. Johnson, who hasn't scored in a long time, pulls up, hits the jumper from about 15 feet. And there's an offensive foul called on James Bird the second. Ludwig Saul back into the ball game. This is Rash. Miller with the ball out top of the key. Rash in the corner, baseline underneath. Streeter in the corner. Ball fakes, leaves the basketball, but gets it back. Rash back to Streeter in the corner. He's going to drive hoop, lay it up right-handed, and gets it to go. Josh Streeter. Burton stopped. Soderholm back to Burton. Kick out to Branham. Back inside it goes Hartman. On the floor, bailed out with 4 on the shot clock. It'll be a bonus, I believe. And Rain Hartman will go to the free throw line. Stegeman going to come in for him after the next dead ball. Hartman at the line. He's got 4 points in the game. Misses the front end. Miller with the basketball. 21 seconds, 13 on the shot clock. About 7 seconds difference or so. Sauled in the corner. Burton tried to steal it. Miller with a 3 straight up. Hits the front of the rim and crawls in. And it's a 3-point ball game with 5 seconds to go. Here comes Branham. Spins, looks into the corner. Soderholm gets a 3 off before the buzzer. Doesn't bank in. And that's the way the half ends. So a 12-point advantage is trimmed to 3 right before halftime. So your score at half, 35-32 in favor of Central. We're going to take about a 5-minute break to get our sponsors some play time. And then we'll be back with halftime statistics in about 5 minutes or so here on the Eagle Sports Network.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Here at Rick Ball Ford Lincoln, my team is driven to be different. Different in a great way because we're going to give you the very best customer satisfaction anywhere. One of the parts about our dealership you will love is our 1995 oil changes. You get a free alignment check. You get a free multi-point inspection. You get a free car wash. Everybody will get all of that combined for $19.95. Stop by today or come visit us at rickball.com.
When you buy a used car, how do you know that it hasn't been in an accident? Experienced water damage or worse have major engine problems. This is Kyle Wymuth with WK. Here, all pre-owned vehicles less than 10 years old and under 100,000 miles come standard with peace of mind, wrapped up inside a 6-month, 6,000-mile powertrain warranty. And because we sell more vehicles than anyone in West Central Missouri, we get more quality trades, so we don't have to shop the used car auctions. For used car peace of mind, visit WK in Sedalia, Boonville, and at WKFamily.com.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
0% for 72 months, plus generous cash savings on our most popular trucks and SUVs now at WK. Enjoy 0% for 72 months, plus cash back on Silverado and Sierra trucks, most Buick SUV models, and the Acadia Terrain and the all-new 2020 Equinox. Winter is here, and there's no better time to get behind the wheel of a powerful new four-wheel drive than now at WK in Sedalia, WK Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Boonville, and at WKFamily.com.
You were cutting out paper? What's that for?
Yeah, what was that all about?
That you guys have been arguing about how the dealership's going to be named in the future. So I just thought we'd cut up the names and put an equal amount in there and then have a drawing, and that's what the name will be.
Hey, Ryan and Ross, can you come look at this trade-in?
Rickball Auto Group.
All right, that's it.
They all say Rickball. They're all Rickball Auto Group.
And don't forget, shop us online at rickball.com.
We're back. It is halftime at Puckett Fieldhouse, Central Methodist University, Fayette, Missouri. Score: Eagles 35, Vikings 32. The Eagles played really well for about 18 and a half minutes and had as much as a 12-point lead. But the last minute and a half of the first half, Grandview went on a 7-0 run to chip it from 10 down to this 3-point advantage that we have right now that the Eagles have. Looking at your halftime stats up on your screen, we'll just go through a little bit of that. Field goal percentage, 13 of 31 for Grandview for 41.9%. For Central, 15 of 31, shooting 48.39%. Of that, Grandview 4 of 13 from three-pointers, from three-point shots, 30.77%. Central 3 of 11 for 27.27%, so neither side lighting it up very much there. Grandview 2 of 2 from the free throw line, Central 2 of 3 from the line. Rebounding-wise, Grandview 17, 3 offensive rebounds. Central 18 total rebounds, 3 offensive. 8 assists to 7 for Central over Grandview. In the turnover department, Grandview has 4, Central 3. And other things of somewhat importance, point in the paint. Central has 20 points in the paint to 14. Bench scoring, though, Grandview 14 off of their bench, only 4 points off the Eagles' bench. Points off of turnovers, and not a lot of turnover, only 7 total for both sides put together. So those would be 4 points for Central and 2 points for Grandview. So that's where we stand right now. Leading scorers go like this in the ball game for Grandview as they trail by 3. Their leading scorer is Josh Streeter with 9 off the bench, along with Drew Johnson with 9. And then after that, it falls down to Ryan Miller with 5, Landon Rash with 5. 2 points for Colton Kolowski and 2 points for Ludwig Sald. That's the total for Grandview. For the Eagles, they're led by James Bird II with 14. 8 points for Christian Soderholm. 4 points for Kyle McDermott. 4 points for Rain Hartman. 3 points for Isaiah Burton and 2 points for Josh Robinson. Looking at the foul situation, only 4 fouls called against Central in the first half. Nobody with more than 1 on the Grandview side. 7 fouls, and Colton Kolowski with 2 fouls is the only player on that side in any kind of foul trouble. So the leaders in the ball game, Johnson and Streeter with 9 points apiece for Grandview. The leading scorer is James Bird II with 14 for Central. Rebounding leader, Bird has 4 of those. He's the leader. Sald has 6 for Grandview. Assists, Minders with 2 and Bird with 4. So Bird is the scoring leader, the rebounding leader, and the assist leader for the Eagles in this ball game. We're still 6 minutes away. Neither side back out here yet. As the Eagles got off to a good start, as I said, got a lead up to as much as 12, but then Grandview closed on a 7-0 run to end the half and got it back to a 3-point ball game here at halftime. So all the good work that Central did in the first half of that, the first part of the first half, kind of went away there at the last minute and a half or so of the half. Tell you that, looking for my stat information and stuff for you, that on Monday night, the Eagles will be back here at Puckett Fieldhouse as the women and the men both take on Mid-America Nazarene. I look for my Heart of America Conference standings coming into today. On the women's side, Central was 11-2. They won today by a score of 100-60 over Grandview. So they are 12-2 on the season. Grandview is 11-3. William Penn is 9-3. Mid-America Nazarene 9-3 coming into play today. So Mid-America comes in on Monday, and it'll be the 12-2 Eagles versus whatever Mid-America does today. They're 9-3. So another win by the Lady Eagles will put another team 2 games behind them, and that will only leave William Penn as a team close to them at 9-3, and they have split with William Penn on the season. On the other side, for the men, their conference, William Penn is in first place with an 11-1 record, 17-1 overall, and the CMU men gave them a ball game 2 weeks ago that came down to the last minute and a half or so of that ball game, and William Penn pulled away for a 6-point advantage, but that was the biggest lead of the night for William Penn was that 6, as they trailed most of the ball game. So William Penn is in first, Clark's in second, Mid-America is in third with an 8-4 record, and Central is 5-8. Pending this ball game, could be 6-8, going against Mid-America at 8-4 or whatever they do today in their ball game. Again, the Heart of America Conference has a Commissioner's Cup based on sports that all of the schools play together at the same time: men's and women's basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, and then 3 additional sports that a team plays that they can pick up points in, and they get points for finishing the regular season in first, second, third, on all the way down. And Central leads that at the halfway mark after the first semester, as they're in first place with 35 points thanks to their men's and women's soccer team and volleyball team, all finishing as conference champions. So that way, that's going on right now, and that goes along during the course of the year. We had, during the first ball game, introduction of about 16 softball recruits for the 2021 softball season for Coach Pat Reardon and his assistant coach, his dad, Gene Reardon. And we had approximately 36 football recruits here as well. They were not introduced. They got to come in and watch the ball game after their tour and some work around campus, as to get to see everything they need to see. So the recruiting continues on as it always has to. Women's basketball wins. It is Alumni Day for the men, as they have some of the past basketball players at Central here for the ball game, and then they are going to have a get-together in downtown to discuss old times together. And Coach Sherman, in his 35th year, has had a lot of players come through this program, and they all respond every chance they get to coming together. He has a golf tournament that he puts on. It's almost always full, and it's the tallest golf tournament I've ever seen, because most everybody in it is a basketball player. So there's a whole bunch of 6'6" and 6'8" and 6'9" golf players out there, which are pretty easy to see from a distance. So all of that continues on. Inaugural season of wrestling at Central goes on as well. Baseball will start before very long, as will softball before too long. Nate Breland at the helm of the Eagle baseball team. And Pat Reardon, as I say, at the helm of the softball program. All of those things getting ready to get going before too very long. So it's a great time to be an Eagle right now, as the Eagles have taken flight quite a bit this year and have done extremely well with back-to-back men's soccer championships, national championships. They had a program to announce all of their names and get everybody seen, and I'm sure we had a lot of overseas people watching that because a lot of the Central soccer team is from foreign countries, and they don't get a chance to get over here and see much of the soccer game, so they see them just like this, and I suspect that Rain Hartman's family is watching in South Africa because they can't just fly over for a ball game anytime they want to. Well, I guess they could, but they're not going to. So it will be Grandview basketball to start the second half. Kalowski, Rash, Minders, Johnson, and Sald, the original 5 starters. Soderholm, Bird, Robinson, Burton, and Hartman, the 5 original starters for Central. That's Rash, Kalowski, Johnson down the baseline, underneath, kicks it to the corner. Rash, ball fake to the hoop. Shot is blocked, but it's going to be a goaltend against Hartman. And that cuts it down to a 1-point ball game. That was a finger roll on the way to the hoop, and goaltending called. Makes it 35-34. And that's 9 straight points now scored by Grandview. Bird, Soderholm. Bird around, and he's called for a travel as he tried to figure out if he was going to put up a shot. Turn and look behind him to pass the ball to Christian Soderholm, and is called for a travel. And Grandview has a chance for their first lead of this ball game. Rash, Minders from here in Missouri. Sald tries to go inside. It's tipped away by Hartman. It will stay with Grandview as we're almost a minute into the second half of play here. Game moving along at a nice pace. Sald gets it. That's Rash with a 3 from the corner. Draws nothing, and Soderholm with the errant shot. Robinson underneath to Burton, lays it up, and it won't go. Had a little chippy, and he shot it too hard, and it comes off the rim. This is Kalowski. Rash, Sald, Minders. Jumper on the way, no good by Kalowski. He's not been able to find the range. He's got 2 points in the ball game. He averages 9, almost 10. Soderholm, Burton. Burton reverse dribble into the lane. Little jumper, bangs around, no good. Central can't buy a basket right now. Everything is closed up. McDermott gets ready to check in. This is Rash, Minders. Kalowski from the corner hits a 3. Colton Kalowski in the first lead of the ball game for Grandview at 37-35. Eagles haven't scored since it was 35-25 in the first half. Robinson to the basket. Blocking foul call. No basket underneath. McDermott checks in. Burton checks out, and Central's going to call a timeout. And with that timeout, we'll take a quick break and be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Rick Ball Ford Lincoln, my team is driven to be different. Different in a great way because we're going to give you the very best customer satisfaction anywhere. One of the parts about our dealership you will love is our 1995 oil changes. You get a free alignment check, you get a free multi-point inspection, you get a free car wash. Everybody will get all of that combined for $19.95. Stop by today or come visit us at rickball.com.
We're back. Central trying to figure out where they can get points as they haven't scored in the second half, and they haven't scored for quite a while. It was 35-25 in the first half, and it's 37-35 as they're stuck on 35. It's a 12-0 run for Grandview. And there's a foul on Christian Soderholm, an illegal pick, a moving screen. His first personal foul, team foul number 1, but Grandview gets the ball back. Kyle McDermott onto the floor. Try and give the Eagles a little more scoring punch from somewhere. Kalowski with Robinson on him. Minders into the corner. Rash looks, can't go anywhere. Johnson kicks it back around the other side to Minders. Minders to the hoop, lays it up and in, went around Soderholm and got the shot to the basket before Hartman could get there. And the biggest lead at 4. 14-point run now. Inside to Hartman, he's going to go left, come back right. Won't go, back of the rim, just everything hitting rim and bouncing out for the Eagles right now as they can't get a bucket to fall. Kalowski, a long three on the way, can't get it to go. Soderholm with a rebound. Bird, who hasn't scored in a while, with 14 points. Robinson, free throw line jumper won't go. Hartman gets to it but knocks it out of bounds, and it will stay. It will go over to Grandview. Branham getting ready to check in. Stegeman getting ready to check in. Hartman and Robinson check out. And this will be Landon Rash bringing the ball up the floor. 3 minutes in, and Central has not scored yet. Minders, Johnson, top of the key, Kalowski. Sald, Rash, right wing. Bird on him. Johnson going to try and take it, spin move in the lane. Fadeaway jumper won't go. Tipped by Soderholm, collected by Stegeman, and here comes Bird. Branham, look for a three, didn't take it. Stegeman gets it to Bird, who's going to get it into the corner. McDermott will try a three from there. Off the back of the rim, no good. Can't go from inside, won't go from outside. Rash going to run it up the floor, go to the hoop. Soderholm stops him. Minders going to back out, trying to go to the hoop again. Back out to Kalowski. He goes down the lane, and he's going to be called for a travel. Colton Kalowski called for a travel. 3 minutes and 46 seconds into this second half, and the Eagles have not scored. Jake Branham to bring the ball up the court. Bird with Rash on him now. He's had Kalowski on him for a while. This is Branham. Looks for a pick. Soderholm in the corner. Going to drive to the hoop. Try and find a way to the basket. Puts it up. Doesn't get it to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line, I believe, as he's fouled. Ludwig Sald with the foul. His second personal foul. And Christian Soderholm looks to break the 4-minute string of no scoring, and he does with his first free throw. He's got 9. Kyle Haynes into the ball game, and Ryan Miller for the Vikings. 3-point advantage for the Vikings. Soderholm at the free throw line. 4 for 4 from the line for him. 10 points in the ball game, and it's back to a 2-point advantage. Johnson with McDermott on him. Kalowski, Miller, Minders in the corner, goes to the hoop, finds Soderholm in his way. Miller back out. Johnson. Miller. Kalowski. Haynes in the corner, can't get a shot. Minders, spin move to the hoop, puts it up and in as Soderholm was late getting there to put up a block on it, and it is 41-37. Bird trying to figure out a way to get a shot because he hasn't had one lately. McDermott's trying to find a way down the lane, can't. Here comes Bird. He's going to take it to the hoop. This time he's got a lane, and he lays it up and in. 16 for James Bird the second. Long pass down into the corner to Johnson. Minders, Kalowski. Minders, Johnson in the corner. Looked at a three, didn't take it. Miller will take a three and hit it. Ryan Miller. He's got 8 in the ball game. He averages 6. He's got 8. It's a 5-point advantage for Grandview. Bird, Soderholm, three-pointer on the way, rattles around no good. Stegeman tried to get the rebound, but Miller comes out with it. Miller at 5'11", gets the rebound. Kalowski, pull-up jumper, 2. Good, and it is now a 7-point advantage for Grandview. Again, the Eagles have scored 4 points so far in the second half, and we've played almost 6 minutes. Went from a 3-point advantage to down 7, so they've been outscored 10. Bird into the corner. Branham bounces for a 3. Can't get it to go. Johnson with a rebound. Kalowski. Miller. Haynes with a pick. Now it goes to the other side to get a pick. Kalowski. Johnson, who had 9 points early, and that's where he's still stuck. Miller against Branham. Kicks it to the corner. Minders for 3 won't go. And Bird with a rebound. He pushes it up the court. Miller waits for him. Bird beats him to the front, to the rim, and lays it up and in. Going to have to hurry to get down there because the lane gets congested after just a little bit. And Bird beat that down the floor that time. Johnson with a 3 on the way. Hits it. Drew Johnson. 12 points for him. He averages 13.6, so he's just about to his average. 5-point advantage. Bird underneath to Stegeman, who lays it up and in. Nice cut, nice look by Bird to Stegeman. He lays it up and in, and that's his first 2 points of the ball game. And now they've got the score corrected. It's 49-43 after all that. They had the points on the wrong side or didn't put enough points up. There's Kalowski with a shot and a miss. Branham with a rebound, gets it to Bird. Bird needs to push it up the floor and beat the defense from getting set up, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. Spin in the lane, can't get it to go. Soderholm to the basket, underneath reverse, lays it up and in. Christian Soderholm gets it back to a 4-point ball game. Miller, Kalowski, Johnson, Minders, back to Miller. Kalowski underneath with Stegeman on him. Bounces off, puts it up, can't get it to go. And Branham with a rebound. McDermott runs it down, gets it back out, reset. Bird with the basketball, going to get a pick from Hartman, goes around it the other way, lays it up and in. No help defense there from anybody, and that can't make Coach Schaefer very happy on the other sideline. He's got 3 bodies ready to come in, 2 ready to come in for Central, and a timeout called, and it'll be a full timeout. So let's take a 30-second break with a score of 49-47 in favor of Grandview. 11:44 to go here on the Eagles Sports Network.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
11:44 to go. Grandview with a 2-point advantage. Timeout just about over. It was 35-32 at the half, so Central has scored 12 points thus far in this second half. And Grandview has scored 17, so they've taken the 3-point deficit and turned it into a 2-point advantage. Be Grandview basketball taken out right in front of their bench. Back into the ball game is Josh Streeter. He had 9 points off the bench in the first half. Also in the ball game, back in 33 is Sald. He's got the ball right there. That's Rash with it. Streeter With Soderholm on him. Now he's got Hartman on him. Now he can get it back to Soderholm. He tries to pass the ball through to Sold, but can't make a bounce pass to a big guy, and Sold is 6'7". Goes out of bounds, and now the Eagles have a chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3. Noah Patrick with the ball into the game. Robinson lost his man for a moment, but the lane was covered up. He's got the ball back. 10 on the shot clock. Wants Soderholm to get out of the way. Shoots one from just beyond the free throw line and hits it. Josh Robinson. 4th point of the ball game for him. Miller. Sold. Back to Miller. Streeter going to spin in the lane. Loses it to Soderholm, who probably needs to pull it up and get it to a guard somewhere. And he gets it to Patrick, who gets it to Robinson. Into the corner to Patrick. Robinson. 15 on the shot clock. Here comes Hartman to give him a pick. Pick and roll. Doesn't go. Robinson to the hoop. Lays it up left-handed. Bumped. Gets it to go. And the lead goes back to the Eagles at 51-49. Landon Rash with the basketball. Miller, right wing. Sold with Robinson on him. Lays it up and in with a left hand. Mismatch on the switch. Stegeman going to come in at the scorer's table, along with a Viking ready to come in. Robinson waves everybody. It's a 1-4, and he's going to go one-on-one. Takes it to the hoop. Blocking foul going to be called on Josh Streeter. And that will send Robinson, I believe, to the free throw line, but we've got a timeout call first.
Viking foul on number 15, Josh Streeter.
It's on Streeter, his first personal foul. Team foul number 3 so far, only 1 on the Eagles. Here in the second half of action, James Bird II leads the attack with 20. Christian Soderholm with 12. On the other side, it's Drew Johnson with 12. Josh Streeter with 9, and Ryan Miller with 8. Looking at see if there's anything else. The three-point shooting is still something of an issue. Grandview 7 of 20 for 35%. Central 3 of 14 for 21.4%. So nobody filling it up much with the three-pointers. Bench scoring. Grandview 17-6 advantage there. It's an 11-point advantage off the bench, and it's a tie ball game at 51. But when we come back, Central will be shooting free throws to get the lead back with 9:44 to go. Again, Monday night, 5:30 and 7:30. It will be Mid-America Nazarene, the Pioneers, in town in Fayette to take on the Eagles. Women's game at 5:30, men's game 20 minutes later. So come back to the Eagle Sports Network and watch those ball games as well. And it is Robinson at the line to shoot a pair. First free throws of the evening for him, or afternoon. As I look outside, it's still light. First free throw good. Lead back to the Eagles. Isaiah Burton back in the lineup. Stegeman. Soderholm. Second free throw also good. 53-51. 9:40 to go in the second half. Competitive ball game all along. As Jay Chin is into the ball game trying to get the ball, and he's got it right now against James Bird II. Chin drops it inside to Sald. Keeps banging with Soderholm. Turns around, puts it up. Can't get it to go. Streeter gets the rebound. Can't get it to go. It's tipped around. Burton comes out with it. And a foul is going to be called on Sald as he dove for the ball and banged into Burton. Third personal foul for him. Dallas Minders back into the ball game, and Nanakota Ayensu back into the game for the Vikings. It's Central ball. They've got a 2-point advantage. Burton in the corner. Back to Robinson. Stegeman with a bank. Burton 3 from the corner. Banks up no good, and Miller with a rebound. Chen going to drive to the hoop. Bumped. Puts it up and gets it to go. Chen just into the ball game. Stegeman on the side all by himself. Nice no-look pass from Robinson to Burton, and Burton lays it up and in, and it's back to a 2-point ball game. Burton with 5 in the ball game. Nice no-look pass. As Stegeman was open in the corner, and that's where everybody was running to, and then Kodama puts it up and in and ties it at 8:20, and that'll bring Hartman back into the ball game. Burton. Robinson going to run some clock. Bird the second. Back to Robinson. Over to Burton. Still got 14. Bird, three-pointer on the way and good. James Bird the second. He's got 23 now in the ball game. He was the offense for a lot of the first half, and he's been the offense part of this one. Ayensu backing Soderholm in and bang, rolls it up and in. One-point advantage Central. Robinson to Bird. He's double-teamed, kicks it around. Burton overall by himself on the wing, but a timeout called instead by Coach Sherman. He wants a full timeout, so with 7:33 to go and the Eagles with a 1-point lead, we'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Cutting up paper? What's that for? Yeah, what was that all about?
That you guys have been arguing about how the dealership's going to be named in the future. So I just thought we'd cut up the names and put an equal amount in there and then have a drawing, and that's what the name will be.
Hey, Ryan and Ross, can you come look at this trade-in?
Rick Ball Auto Group.
All right. That's a
They all say Rick Ball. They're all Rick Ball Auto Group.
And don't forget, shop us online at Rick.
Want to make sure we thank our sponsors here. CMU, Central Methodist University, the Rick Ball Auto Mall dealerships in Boonville and Sedalia, and the WK family of dealerships in Sedalia and in Boonville. You can find Rick Ball online, rickballautomall.com, rickball.com. WKfamily.com will get you to the WK dealership. Thank them for their sponsorship to help make this possible. Hope you're enjoying the ball games. 7:33 to go. 1-point advantage Central. It's Central basketball. On the side right next to underneath of us as we look at it going from their left to our right. It will be James Bird the second. Inbounds. Right back to him. Play catch with Robinson. 14 on the shot clock. Stegeman in the corner. Burton looks for Bird. Can't find him. Robinson, 3 in the air, no good, off the back part. Burton with a nice tip to Stegeman. His shot is blocked and out of bounds. Drew Johnson checks back in. Christian Soderholm checks in. Stegeman checks out. Burton, Bird, Robinson, Soderholm, and Hartman, and there's a play inside to Hartman. A little right-hand jump hook is good. He's got 6 in the ball game, and the lead is up to 3. Chen, who came into the ball game, and he's an offensive mind, obviously. Jumper on the way and good, and that is Kalowski. He's got 10 in the ball game, and we're tied up again with 6:47 to go. Grandview's baskets are coming easier than the Central baskets are. Central has to work to get the ball into somebody's hands to score. There's Soderholm straight up. 3 on the way from him is good. Christian Soderholm, 15 for him, 23 for James Bird the second. Dallas Minder. Chen with a 3 from deep, and he hits it. Wonder why he doesn't play more often. He averages about 8 points a ball game, and he's got 5 just in the time he's been in here. Bird goes to the rim, but it rolls off the front, and here comes Chen again. Not looking to pass to the basket, blocked by Hartman. Burton with it. Bird with a three on the way, no good. Pushed around underneath as Haynes into the ball game, got Soderholm out of the play. And Minders has it, tied at 63. Minders. Set up there. Drew Johnson with a three on the way and good. All of a sudden, threes are starting to fall for both sides on a more regular basis. 66-63 with just under 5.5 to go in the ball game. Burton, Robinson. Inside Hartman, has it tipped away but ends up coming right back to him, and there's a foul on the floor. That's team foul number 5 against Grandview. Not quite in the bonus yet. Chin heads to the sideline. He's going to leave as Rash comes back in. Sald comes back in. And Haynes leaves. Bird to bring it in. Gets it into Soderholm underneath. Turns and puts it up. Won't go. Hits side of the rim, other side of the rim, and rolls off. 3-point advantage and the basketball for Grandview. Minders. Johnson. Minders. Rash. Johnson. Kalowski. He'll pull up and shoot a three, and he tries to. It's partially blocked by Burton. He comes out with it. 1-on-2 to the hoop. Puts it up. Won't go, but a foul called. And that'll go on Drew Johnson. First personal foul on Johnson. That's number 6, so the Eagles will be shooting bonus free throws the rest of the way after these 2 free throws for Isaiah Burton. First one is good. (66-64), 4:43. Second free throw for Burton on the way. He's got 6. Make it 7. It's a 1-point ball game again. Sald, Rash, Minders, Johnson, and Kalowski on the floor. This is Johnson. Inside it goes to Sald, a long way from the basket. Hartman on him. Minders. Not an offensive threat on a normal occasion. Kalowski is. He's waving for somebody to come set a pick. He's looking, he's going to put up a 3, loses the handle on it again. And a shot clock violation as Saul got it and tried to throw it up, but it was blocked and the clock expires. That's 2 times in a row down the floor that Kalowski has tried to put up a shot and not gotten a handle on it or had it stripped away from him. And now the Eagle fans start hollering a little bit as they're back within 1 as we approach 4 minutes to go. Soderholm 3 from the corner, skips off no good. Minders with a rebound. Minders, Drew Johnson. Rash, Landon Rash with it. Kalowski. Minders going to take it down the hoop. Misses, but right there for the tip in is Kalowski. And it looks like we've got a timeout called. Look up at the scoreboard. 3 timeouts left up there right now for the Eagles. 2 timeouts left for Grandview. We'll keep it here and let you watch the dance team perform and listen a little bit. That's the CMU Envy dance team. And I look over to my left. There are 2 national banners over there for top 10 finishes in the past 2 years. And then the cheer squad has banners up for 2015, 2016, and 2019. So both of those squads doing very well as well. It's a 3-point advantage. Central with the ball. Josh Robinson lets it roll. Now starts the clock moving as he picks it up. Stegeman into the ball game. Burton left wing. Robinson top of the key, going to drive it down the lane. Puts up a little right-hand runner that rolls in. Back to 1 point. Minders gets it inbounds to Miller. Miller against Burton. Cuts through, takes it to the hoop, puts it up, misses, but Hartman going to be called with a foul, lower body. The official says he got him with his knee. So Ryan Miller will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. That's only the second team foul against the Eagles, which normally is really good. But if the game continues this way, it's going to take a lot of fouls to get the other team to go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Get ready to check back in as Kota Ayensu. And now he's going to come in, and Sald is going to leave. Noah Patrick comes in, and Burton checks out. Burton leaves with 7. First free throw, or the free throw good. Only put 1 up on the board, so I'm looking to see. He must have missed the first one while I was gabbing, so 69-67. Burton to the hoop. Blocked by Kodama Ayensu by the basket, and we're at the 3-minute mark. 2-point lead and the ball for Grandview. Clock shot makes it possible to get the ball back after good defense. There's a cut underneath. Johnson puts it up and misses. Branham with it. Gets it to Robinson, and he's going to go 1-on-3. And there's a foul on Miller out away from the basket. Not a very good foul there. A long way away. It was 1-on-3. And Robinson now will go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1 as the Eagles are in the bonus the rest of the way with 2:42 to go. First one in the air, short, but rolls in, crawls front of the rim, back of the rim, and drops. 69-68. Grandview gives up about 81 a game, and there is a second free throw is good, and into the ball game comes Kalowski. Grandview scores 71, gives up 81. Central Methodist scores 75, gives up 78. Kalowski back and forth with Rash across half court. Is Landon Rash. .225 to go. Kalowski goes to the basket, but he steps out of bounds on the way there. Kalowski averages 9, and he's got 12, or he averages almost 10, and he's got 12. But that's a turnover as he steps out of bounds. 3 timeouts for Central left, 2 for Grandview. Only 2 fouls on the Eagles. If they can get the lead, they can just foul from time to time, run a little clock, and get a foul before Grandview gets into the shooting part of it. Bird, Patrick. Hartman's got a huge mismatch inside with Minders on him, who is 6'2". Patrick from the corner of 3 hits it. And a timeout called by Central. Coach Sherman points his finger in an approving manner towards the offense there as they worked it around to Noah Patrick. He hits a 3, gives them a 3-point lead with 2:02 to go here in the ball game. What's been a good ball game all along. Central got out and got up to a 12-point lead in the first half. Didn't score the last minute plus of the first half. Grandview went on a 7-0 run, And then Grandview started the second half on another run and continued on. It was almost 3.5 minutes into it before the second half before Central scored a point. So Central went from being up 3 to being down 7 and not in nothing flat. So now 2:02 to go. Central with a 3-point lead, shooting free throws the rest of the way. Grandview has a lot of fouls to go off Central before they get to a bonus, as Central only has 2 team fouls here in the second half. James Bird, the second, with 23 leading the way. 15 points for Christian Soderholm and 12 points for Josh Robinson leading the Eagles. 15 points for Drew Johnson, 12 points for Colton Kolowski, 9 points for Ryan Miller, and 9 points for Josh Streeter, and he had that at halftime. Miller inbounds to Rash. Johnson, Kolowski, and Minders, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Stegeman, Patrick, Bird, Robinson, and Burton. Burton's out on Kolowski right now. Now they switch to Bird on him, and they'll switch back first chance they get. Minders on Stegeman, spin move to the hoop, puts it up and can't get it to go. Stegeman with a rebound, almost stripped by Minders, but he gets the ball to Josh Robinson, and Robinson will walk it up the floor. 3-point advantage. Still got 15 on the play clock. So they're going to be able to run it down. Close to a minute left in the ball game. Here goes Robinson to the hoop. Lost his footing, gets it back. He's left-handed, puts it up and misses. And Kolowski with a rebound. Quickly down, Miller with a 3 on the way. Got it lined up and hits it. Go from an easy basket underneath what could have been a basket and a 5-point lead to a tie game in a matter of seconds. And Coach Sherman's got his head down on the sideline after that turn of events. So I look up and it still says 2 timeouts for everybody. I don't know how. Now they change it to Grandview has 1 left and that's all. So the dance team back out again. Spirited ball game. We'll be back here Monday night. Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers in town to take on the Eagles. That's a 5:30 girls game. And again, the standings on all of this on the women's side. Central Methodist in first place now with 2 losses. Mid-America's got 3 losses. William Penn's got 3. William Penn is done playing Central. They split on the season, and they've got some games coming up against some tougher teams, so they could pick up another loss. But Mid-America, if the Lady Eagles can beat them, then that would put 2 games between all of them except for William Penn. And I'm sure if I were to have a schedule in front of me to look at it, William Penn probably has ball games coming up with Grandview and Mid-America Nazarene and probably maybe even Clark. So Landon Rash back into the ball game. Eagles have the basketball with a minute to go, 1:03. It could be a 2-for-1 for the Eagles. They can get a shot off before the clock gets down anywhere close to 30, and they do. As Stegeman straight away for a 3, can't get it to go. Johnson with a rebound, and it's 2-on-1 to Kolowski. He puts it up and in, and a 2-point lead for Grandview with 44 to go. Now the Eagles have to get the best shot available and can't worry about any of the other. Bird's going to take it to the hoop, steps in, puts it up. Foul, can't get it to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair, and that foul looks like it's going on Landon Rash. James Bird the second, 32 on the game clock. So the Eagles are going to have to do a lot of fouling to get the ball back before the end of regulation. First free throw, back of the rim, no good by Bird. That makes it a much tougher deal now. He can only make it a 1-point game, and there's only 2 fouls, so the Eagles are going to have to foul 5 times before Grandview goes to the free throw line. So they're just going to have to go for steals, and if they foul, they foul. Just don't do it in the motion of shooting. And a timeout by Central. Both sides with one left. 32 seconds to go here. Don't know why I would have any idea other than that we may go to overtime. This is the fourth set of games that I've done. And in the first three, two of them went overtime or double overtime. So the Eagles need to figure out a way to get the ball back and score. They can't foul and send Grandview to the free throw line unless it's in the act of shooting, because they only have 2 fouls, so they're going to have to foul third foul, fourth foul, fifth foul, and the sixth foul. They're going to foul 4 times before Grandview gets to the bonus. So it's going to have to be go for a steal, and if you don't get it, foul. Go for a steal and foul. Go for a steal and foul. Go for a steal and foul until things are to the free throw line, but that's going to eat up time as well. It will be Grandview basketball under the Central basket as we get ready to go back to action. It is Johnson, Miller, Kalowski, Rash, and Minders. Stegeman, Robinson, Patrick, Bird. There's a ball on the floor. It's still on the floor. And it's going to be a tied-up basketball, and that's Central. So that's exactly what the Eagles needed to get the ball back. A tie-up. The arrow belongs to the Eagles. As Bird was trying to get the ball out of there and call timeout, either way would have worked okay. Soderholm checks in. Stegeman checks out. Patrick, Robinson, Burton, Bird, Soderholm. Now the Eagles can play for the last shot if they so desire. They're down 1. They need to score, need to get a shot off with about 4 or 5 seconds, if not before that. Bird, Burton. He wants to drive to the hoop against Rash. Bumps, puts it up, scores. Isaiah Burton with 10 seconds left. Here comes Miller on the fly, and a foul in the backcourt by Patrick. And here comes the strategy now with all those fouls, because Central could foul every time they get the ball inbounds and run a second or 2 off at a time. That's only the 3rd team foul of the half. So the only thing that Grandview can do at this point in time, Central's going to call a timeout. We'll go over the strategy right now. The only thing that Grandview can do right now is throw the ball towards the basket and try and put up a shot in a hurry before they can be fouled away from the ball and try and get a free throw. Otherwise, if they throw it into the backcourt, Central's going to foul them before they get a chance to shoot and run off another second or 2. And that'll be team foul number 4. And then repeat until that happens. I mean, Central's in a position now with the lead that their fouls come to their benefit. If they were behind 74-73, the fouls would not benefit them at all because they wouldn't be able to get the basketball back. But that steal, the tie-up at half court, got the ball back for the Eagles. And they scored, go up by 1. 8.5 seconds to go. Grandview's got to figure out a way to get the ball into the front court and get somebody like Kalowski a shot immediately before he gets, as he's getting fouled, heave one up a 3 and hope that they gets 3 free throws. But we'll see Burton come out, and he will probably go find Kalowski right away. And he does. Here comes Miller. He's going to get it. And a foul not called. And Kowalski hits a 3 as he's falling down. And they're going to win it. Nope, there's a foul. He steps on the end line, or is it a foul? Steps on the end line with 1:09 to go, and Central's going to get a shot at it again. As Kalowski was just trying to draw a foul and hits a 3. So it's get the ball inbounds, no timeouts for Central. They've got to get a play. It's a 2-point advantage. Bird, 3-pointer from the corner, won't go, and that's the end of the ball game. And Grandview's going to leave Fayette with a 77-75 victory. So Monday night we'll be back. We look at the scoring real quick and tell you that Colton Kalowski was 17, Drew Johnson with 15, 12 points for Ryan Miller. They're the leaders for the victorious Grandview team. Grandview goes to 6-13 and 4-10 in the Hart. Central falls to 6-14 and 5-9 in the Hart. For Central, they were led by James Bird II with 24, 15 points Christian Soderholm, 12 points Josh Robinson, 9 points for Isaiah Burton, and 6 points for Rain Hartman. So a hard-fought loss. Central had the lead at 3 at the half. They lose by 2 here as Grandview comes back and outscores the Eagles by 5 in the second half. 45-40, I believe, will be the final numbers there. So from Puckett Fieldhouse in Fayette, this is Charlie Brown. Come back on Monday night when Mid-America Nazarene is in town. Women's game at 5:30, men 20 minutes afterwards. That will do it from Puckett Fieldhouse in Fayette. Central Methodist falls to Grandview 77-75. Have a great weekend.